Today we are exploring Hanoi, the bustling capital of Vietnam, and seeing just how far $100 can go here.
Vietnam is often considered one of the cheapest countries to visit, and last night we started off our time here in Hanoi by going to the weekend night market and seeing just how far $10 would go on street food. And by the end of the night, we were completely stuffed. It was a great way to kind of start checking out Hanoi and just really getting a feel for the culture here.
We saw thousands of knockoff products, so we're going to be doing some shopping today as well to freshen up our wardrobe a little bit with the different items that are sold here on the street.
Our very first stop is here at Hanoi Cathedral Lake, which was a free stop. However, we have already spent $22 on our accommodations. Now, I thought here at Hanoi Cathedral Lake it was going to be like a nice, peaceful, serene setting to like film our intro and just start off our morning feeling relaxed. However, this is the most bustling lake I've ever seen. There are so many people here doing like little exercise routines and workouts, and you can already hear just how lively the city is in the background.
Next, we're heading to a cafe to grab some breakfast and the famous egg coffee. If you're looking for a nice walk around the city, this isn't it. This is chaotic, it's crazy, the traffic is nuts, and can be very overwhelming for travelers. It is probably one of our most chaotic city tour days.
Hanoi is kind of like known to be a bad city to try and walk around in, but we're kind of cheap travelers and you save a lot of money just by walking everything. So here we are trying to walk through Hanoi.
So the first stop for the day is a coffee shop called the Hanoi Social Club, and we are here to try the famous egg coffee. I was very skeptical when I heard about it. So why it became so popular is in the 1940s, dairy was so expensive. So in order to sweeten their coffee, instead of using creamer like with milk, they created their own type of creamer out of an egg mixture. It was actually absolutely delicious. The egg mixture makes like a fluffy foam, and the coffee poured over it is a great mix of sweet and bitter. It was actually so delicious. We also had a delicious breakfast here of avocado toast and French toast. This place is on the pricier side. It was $18 for both of our breakfasts and the coffee. So we are now up to $40 for the day. Next stop is going to be St. Joseph's Cathedral for just a beautiful little stop here in the city of a very iconic church.
So we just got done over at St. Joseph's Cathedral and made our way over to the Ho Lo prison. The cathedral was beautiful, and honestly it was the quietest place that we've been to so far in Hanoi. It was very calm and relaxing to actually just be there at the cathedral. But now we're over at the Ho Lo Prison Museum, which is actually where Senator John McCain spent some time as a prisoner of war. And the entrance to this museum is only $1.50 per person, so this is only going to cost us $3 today. We're expecting this to be like extremely educational, so we're going to start checking it out. After we got done at the Ho Lo Prison Museum, we walked down just a little bit further to also visit the Vietnam War Museum, and that also only cost us about $3. But I will say there's nothing more sobering than visiting war museums. It really just shows you kind of like the worst parts of human history and just how awful it can be sometimes. We definitely learned a lot. It was definitely, like I said, very sad just to see all of the history and everything that went down on both sides of the engagements. Both of the museums that didn't just focus on the Vietnamese-American War, but also just like through all the different wars in Vietnamese history. Before the Vietnam War that we generally think of, the country of Vietnam was occupied by the French. So not only did it have some of the modern conflicts, but it also went all the way back into the more like ancient history of Vietnam, where they were still fighting with swords and spears. Just kind of how like the people first became a country and grouped together. We by no means are history buffs, but it was definitely a great way to learn a little bit more about the conflicts here in Vietnam and really just appreciate all the suffering and sadness that is accompanied by those wars. But it's a definite must to check out some of these museums when you're here in Vietnam just to get a broader understanding of everything that did happen here. But next we're gonna head over to the markets and try and find some lunch as well.
So next we are at Train Street, which is iconic because the houses are only a couple inches away from the train track, which does actively go through here every day during the week and then several times during the day on the weekends. It doesn't come through until 7 p.m. at night though, so we're not going to see it today. We just wanted to stop by and take a look. They did close it down in September due to safety concerns for tourists. However, it's reopened now, but what you have to do is go sit at a cafe and buy yourself a drink. So as soon as you walk up on the tracks, the shop owners, they wave you over. So we assumed we had to come buy something. However, this little coffee here was $1.50. They definitely know who their customers are and that tourists are coming here because, wow, this is way more than we paid for another one. But it's just cool to stop by, take a look at it. So then a police officer showed up. The woman quickly shut down her coffee shop, shooed us away, and the police officer set up a guardrail so that no tourists could get on the track. We have no idea if a train was coming or what, but we were quickly escorted out of the area. So next we are taking a little bike ride over to the shopping area. It costs $8. And it got really hot out, so it's nice to kind of just relax.
Have that fresh breeze in your face.
Fresh breeze as we had to go do a little shopping at the same area where the Sunday night market is held.
We saw a lot of different like knockoff clothes like Patagonia, North Face, and a lot of different shoes too. My shoes have taken a beating over the last 6 months, so might be trying to get a new pair of shoes today. All right, well, that was a fun little ride over here to the shopping center. Now, we know we paid way too much for that, but honestly, we generally don't take those kind of things just because we feel bad for them having to like bike through the heat. So overpaying for it is totally fine with us. But now we're gonna start checking out all these shops.
We just found our favorite store of knockoffs. Look at, we've got Patagonia. This would be like $40 in the US. We've got North Face, Nike. So we're gonna do a little bit of shopping now.
All right, sometimes when you travel for a year, you just have to do some boring things and buy some boring things. I've been out of shaving cream for about a week now, and like none of the little convenience stores were selling it. So I just found some now as we were walking through these shops, so I got that for only $3. This store is 350 dong cheaper than the last store we're at, which is about $15 cheaper just by going down the street. So you really have to be careful because all the store owners just kind of throw on a number, seeing if you're gonna take it. Fresh pair of shoes. So originally the shop owner started at 550 dong. However, I got him talked down to 400 dong. That's about 16 US dollars. Now that might still be a little bit too much, but honestly I didn't want to hassle him too much. And for only $16, a brand new pair of shoes is pretty nice. Now, I'm just hoping that they don't fall apart within the next month. However, the shoes I have on like right now are already like falling apart. So even if they do fall apart, I'll just get a new pair at that point. So I'm looking at it as a great little purchase.
Yeah, doing a little bag shopping. Wish I could get them all. We'll see if we can fit one in the suitcase. Our suitcase is already completely full. So I got a bag for $220. The original price was $350, so I got it down $130 for this cute little tote. And I'm just hoping I can shove it in my luggage. Look at all these designer bags. I wish I had more room in my luggage.
All right, we just picked up this deck of cards. Now, we had actually picked up a different deck of cards when we were in Singapore. However, unfortunately, we lost those along the way, so we had to pick up a new deck. But I think we're gonna call it on shopping because it is already super hard to close up our suitcases, and we cannot like buy anything else because we will not be able to fit it into our suitcases. So now we're gonna head over and grab some lunch.
So we are spending our last $18 on lunch. I got chicken skewers, Jordan got bun cha, which is pork meatballs served with a little soup that you dip the meatballs into. Then it also has rice noodles and lettuce. We are at the Hanoi 1930 Bistro, which overlooks all the chaotic traffic of Hanoi below us. This is our last $18. It honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it would be once we bought a few items on the street to spend the $100, but we hope this gives you a good look at how money can be spent and how your time can be spent here in a day in Hanoi. Next, we are headed out of the city into the beautiful countryside, the ocean, the beautiful limestone cliffs. So join us as we head out of the city, and we'll see you in the next one.